During Christmas at my parents' house, my 8-year-old daughter opened her gift package and turned pale. She gripped my hand and murmured, "Mommy, I am scared." I looked inside. The gift appeared regular at first, but then I froze. My hand started shaking. 5 minutes later, I contacted the cops. If you'd asked me that morning, the worst part of Christmas would have been the dried-out turkey or my mother's passive-aggressive humming through the mayhem. I would have said it was or perhaps the act we all put on to pretend we liked one another. I'd have been wrong. The saddest aspect of Christmas was seeing my kid frozen in place with a gift box in her lap, as if the floor had opened beneath her and no one had seen. But I am getting ahead of myself. We were in my parents' house, where I grew up with creaky floorboards, the smell of cinnamon-scented potpourri, and emotional avoidance. The living room was packed with visitors and gifts, children shredding paper adults talking over one another, and very loud laughter. You know the type. In our family, it is customary for each child to receive a gift from each parent, and the children occasionally exchange gifts. It's a whole production. Wrapping paper flying around, tags going missing, and someone constantly losing track of who gave what to whom. My kid had a small mountain of gifts by her side. She was genuinely joyful, something I hadn't seen in a long time. I watched her from across the room and took a moment to breathe. She picked up a medium-sized box wrapped in bright red foil. She grinned and carefully peeled back the tape like she always did. There was no haste. She simply opened the lid with her little hands and then paused. Her countenance altered so quickly that I could only picture it. Her shoulders stiffened, her smile disappeared. Her entire body became still. I too froze. Something within me knew. Do you remember that sinking feeling in your stomach, the one that warns you that you are about to learn something you cannot unlearn? She looked up. Her eyes were wide with fear. She didn't say anything, simply stood up carefully as if frightened the box would explode if she moved too quickly. Still clutching the open box in both hands, she walked toward me, her face pale. She reached for my hand and whimpered, "Mommy, I am scared." Then, almost inaudibly, "Just look. Don't say anything." I cast a downward glance. The box was still open in her arms, slightly inclined towards me. I looked inside. At first I was perplexed. It was a toy. Nothing is obviously improper or harmful. But then I peered closer and froze. Everything around me faded away, including the light sounds and scent of baked ham. It seemed as if time stopped. Or perhaps I did. I did not say anything. Couldn't. I looked up and surveyed the room. My father was laughing, waving a paper crown over his head. My mother was fretting over the table arrangements as if they might spontaneously combust without her care. My sister was deep in conversation with someone pointing with her wine glass. The children were on the floor comparing toys. Everything seemed normal, but it wasn't. "Come on," I whispered quietly. "Let us get some air." Someone's voice came from behind me. "Is everything okay?" I smiled like a lady whose soul wasn't attempting to escape through her chest. "She's not feeling well. We'll only be outdoors for a moment." I took the box. We walked to the car. Neither of us spoke. My kid crawled into the back seat, curled up, and held her knees. I slid into the front passenger seat and glanced at what I was holding, the toy, the box, the weight. I felt a sting before realizing I was crying. My fingertips were frigid. My chest felt heated. I was holding something small, but it seemed like it could crush me. And I was certain that nothing about this day or my life would ever be the same again. 2 minutes later, I contacted the cops. The silence in the car felt oppressive. I could hear my own breathing. Lily's is also wobbly and shallow. The house light still gleamed through the windshield. Someone laughed within. I didn't mind who. Everything was different today. And if I were to explain why or make sense of how something so small might break everything, I'd have to start far earlier than tonight. I am the older sister. That alone probably explains half of it. Amanda and I have been together for 5 years, and she has been the favorite since she could walk. I was the dependable one, the one who cleaned up and didn't cause trouble. Amanda never followed the rules. She created scenes, avoided penalties, and charmed her way out of everything. Our folks treated her like a firework. Dangerous, but gorgeous and untouchable. Me, I got straight A's, remained out of trouble, and kept it together. And in exchange, I received duty expectations and quiet. By the time we were teenagers, the pattern was established. Amanda made a mistake, which I corrected, and no one mentioned it. Years later, she married and had 3 children quickly. Everyone said she was finally maturing. She was not. She continued to make irresponsible decisions and expected others, typically me, to bear the brunt of the consequences. She would text me late at night, "Could you help? It's for the children." And I did for a while before realizing what it was for. Not diapers or groceries, but delivery apps, internet shopping, and spa appointments. I drew the line. I informed her that you have a husband and that I too have a family, but I am not wealthy. She sulked, but the questions slowed. By that point, my life had already transformed. I had met Daniel. When I met him, he had a baby child named Leo, who was just over a year old. His ex had left when Leo was 10 months old. There was no custody battle or drama. She simply departed, signed the paperwork, and disappeared. Leo was quiet at first, cautious, yet kind. I fell in love with him quickly and completely. He began calling me Mom before his 2nd birthday. I did not correct him. Lily was born 2.5 years later. She entered a house that already had love in it, true love. She and Leo were close from the start. They were not half anything but rather siblings, loud, inseparable, and fully linked. We functioned as one. We were fine up until 6 months ago. Leo vanished around lunchtime at school. He told his teacher he had forgotten something in his rucksack. He left the cafeteria. He never returned. Nobody saw who he departed with. Nobody saw where he went. There is no security footage, no note. No sound. Just left. The police got involved. Immediately. They looked everywhere. Nothing was found but his backpack, which had been dropped behind a hedge a few blocks away. No ransom, no contact, and no leads. We stopped sleeping. Daniel stopped speaking. Lily wept in her sleep for several weeks. I stopped waiting for updates and began preparing for stillness. I told myself we would make it through Christmas. We'd fake it for Lily's sake. Smiles show up and survive. Then she opened the box. Now we were in the car with me holding the package and her looking at me in the mirror. I looked at the toy again. It still appeared innocuous. It still resembled nothing. But there was a mark, a detail, a little unique flaw that no one else would detect unless they were already aware. So I did. Lily's voice was scarcely audible. He had it when he got to school that day. I didn't respond. I did not have to. I took up the phone and called the cops. I contacted the police and they arrived approximately 15 minutes later. They arrived in a marked cruiser, calm and quiet, as if they were only here to check on a neighbor's dog barking too late at night. Lily and I were still seated in the car with the box between us. My hands were icy. Her knees were pulled up against her chest, her face turned away from me. After the officers exited, I met them halfway up the driveway, box in my arms. They posed a few questions. I answered as if I were underwater. When I gave over the toy, I kept thinking that it may turn out to be something else, that there would be an explanation, or that I was mistaken. But I was not. They discovered a card inside the wrapping with Holly, his name Amanda's daughter. They entered the house. Everyone looked at them as if someone had opened the front door and let winter in. The room deflated. They asked to speak with Amanda and Holly. Amanda did not resist. They stepped inside the den. It was all extremely quiet and systematic. Holly stated that she found the item in the house and wanted to present it as a gift. She wrapped it herself. Amanda claimed they had toys everywhere, which might have come from anywhere. She stated it with a somewhat frozen smile. Daniel arrived as they were still inside. He stood next to me silently. We both stared as if we were viewing a rerun of something we'd already experienced. The police confiscated the toy, indicated they'd follow up, and then went. The party did not recover. An hour passed, perhaps more. I sat at the kitchen table, hands on my lap. Daniel leaned against the countertop. None of us had moved. That was his toy, I explained quietly. He carried it with him when he departed for school. The marker line, the crack in the wing, they were his. Daniel did not respond. We both understood what it meant. The worst part was that it also implied something else. It implied that Leo might still be alive. That concept struck me like cold and fire at the same moment. After a bit, we got up. We walked down the hallway. The lights were dimming now. The chats ceased. We passed the Christmas tree, the discarded wrapping paper, and all the remnants of a normal day that no longer held any significance. Amanda sat alone in the sunroom, browsing through her phone as if everything was fine. We stepped in. She looked up. Her smile fluttered. "Hello?" she said. "Is everything settled now?" Daniel did not speak. "I did. We need to talk. Now." Her face twitched. "What is this about? What about that toy? Which one did Holly give Lily?" She set down her phone. "I've already informed the cops. Holly found it inside the house. Someone probably left this a long time ago." Daniel stepped forward. "He had the toy with him when he vanished." She blinked. "You cannot be certain." "We are," I said. "Lily recalls. I remember." Daniel recalls. "He never visited your residence. So how did his toy get there?" She laughed, but it sounded thin. "I do not know. Perhaps someone brought it over. Perhaps he came once and you forgot." Daniel's voice broke through. "We did not forget. He never visited your residence." Her smile vanished. "Why are you doing this?" she asked. I moved a step closer. "Because the police are going to return. They're going to ask additional questions. They'll investigate where the toy came from. And when they find out what you did, you won't have the opportunity to explain it to us first." Her face turned pallid. She looked at Daniel, then at me, and finally away. "Please don't tell them," she asked quietly. "So tell us first," I said right now. She hesitated and bit her lip. Her eyes welled up with tears, but she held them back. "Not yet." Then she nodded once. "It was Leo's mother," she explained. "She called me months ago and said she simply wanted to see him, talk to him, and say how much she missed him." My chest tightened. Amanda muttered, "She offered me money. I did not ask for it. She just offered. I needed it. You stated you wouldn't help me anymore. I was behind on my bills. I didn't believe it would be a huge deal." Daniel clenched his fists, but he did not speak. She stated that it would only be one visit lasting 1 hour. I informed her when Leo had lunch and she promised to bring him back. She swallowed. He did not come back. She vanished. I called her, but nothing happened. I went into a panic. I wasn't sure what to do. I kept expecting her to bring him back the next day and then another. And then I stopped calling. Her voice cracked. "Please," she said. "I have 3 children. I did not intend for it to go this far." I felt the air leaving the room. "You led us to assume he was dead," I said. Daniel turned his head. His voice sounded harsh. "We buried him in our minds at night for 6 months. Amanda sobbed. "I wasn't sure what else to do. I didn't say it, but I was thinking it. You could have said the truth." Amanda was still crying as we walked out. Not the loud, performative sort she used to pretend to get out of trouble, but the quiet, gutted type. I didn't feel sorry for her. Daniel did not speak. He unlocked the car door, got in, and glanced out the window as if he was trying to figure out why the world was still the same. We drove directly to the police station. We told them everything, the meeting, the money, the silence. She sat on this untruth for 6 months while we imagined our son dead in a ditch or worse. The policeman said little and simply took notes. One said, "Thank you, we'll take it from here," which is probably what you say when 2 individuals drop their anguish on your desk like a grenade. Amanda was arrested the following day. They claimed that there was an obstruction, perhaps more later. The details didn't matter. I did not answer when she called. Daniel did not even look at his phone. The house felt like a morgue. We didn't turn on the music. We did not complete clearing up the Christmas decorations. We were basically in limbo, hoping the phone will ring again. But this time was important. Lily asked if we should remove the tree. I told her not yet. She did not press. I sat near the window drinking coffee that kept getting cold. Daniel stood in the corridor as if he were waiting for someone to return from the dead. That was when the phone rang. Not the police. "My mom. I should not have taken up, but I did. How could you do this to your sister?" she snapped. No hello, no pause. I blinked. "Excuse me. Call the cops on your own family. You have embarrassed her. You wrecked everything." I was speechless for a little moment. Then I found some. "She secretly scheduled a meeting with Leo's mother." She let him go. "Mom, she didn't say anything for 6 months. My mother told me she made a mistake. She simply wanted to help. It's not like he's your real son. He has a mother. Perhaps that's where he belongs." I did not respond. I simply stared at the wall. Then I hung up. Daniel came in a little later. He didn't inquire what she said. Perhaps he didn't have to. 3 days later, the phone rings again. This time, Daniel responded. He did not speak. Just held the phone out to me like it was going to explode. Mrs. Gray. When I picked up, I heard a voice say something. Yes. We found her. Leo has a biological mother. She had been residing in Arkansas under a fictitious name. I could not breathe. He is alive. My legs went out. I slumped into the couch as if gravity had made a personal judgment about me. They scheduled a video call. Not great, but I didn't mind. I would have taken a voice message, a pixelated photo, or a post-it note with his name on it. I simply needed to see him. We were led into a room at the precinct. There was a laptop on the table, and an IT guy was putting everything up as if it were any other Tuesday. Daniel sat rigid next to me. He hadn't spoken much since we received the call. I think a part of him wasn't convinced yet. I wasn't certain I did either. Then the screen flickered, and there he was. Leo. He looked different. Paler, older. His hair was longer. He wasn't smiling, but it was clearly him. I'd forgotten how to breathe. Hey, I succeeded. My voice cracked. He stared at the screen, not angry. Just be cautious. She told me you didn't want me, he remarked quietly. She said you told her to come fetch me. Something within me splintered. That's not true, I said. We never stopped searching for you. Not once. Daniel leaned in. His voice was steady yet faint. You are ours. Always. Leo looked down, rubbed his sleeve, and then looked up. I did not believe her. Not at first, but then she said it repeatedly. I wasn't sure what to think. You understand now? I said. He nodded. Only once. The screen froze for a second. Someone on the other end told us we needed to wrap up. We're going to get you, Daniel said. Leo did not smile. However, he no longer appeared to be terrified. Okay, he replied. I will be here. That night, I sat alone in the dark with the Christmas lights still blazing behind me. I didn't cry until everyone else was sleeping. Not too loud, not a mess. Tears flowed like a storm after a drought. Leo was returning home. And for the first time in 6 months, I actually believed it. Leo arrived home on a Thursday. He walked off the train with a state caseworker by his side and a duffel bag that did not appear to belong to him. When he spotted me, Daniel and Lily standing just behind the yellow line, he paused as if he wasn't sure it was real. Lily was the first to charge, colliding with him. He dropped the bag and hugged her as if he were underwater and she were air. I walked up slowly. Daniel did not move at all. His face was stone. I kneeled in front of Leo. Hello, dear. He nodded, then he moved nearer and buried his face in my coat. That was when we got him back. The following few weeks were not easy. He rarely spoke. I flinched as the doors opened too quickly. I slept with the light on. Lily clung to him like glue, as if she was afraid he would vanish again if she blinked. Maybe she was correct. We got him into therapy. Slow steps. There is no pressure. It's just presence. He needed to know we were present. One night, I found the two of them calmly coloring on the floor of his room. He looked up at me and asked, "Can we have pizza tomorrow?" I nodded. That was the first entire sentence we had heard in days. Progress. Amanda faced charges of reckless endangerment of a child abduction and accessory to custodial interference. She accepted a plea deal that included 18 months in county jail, 3 years probation, and a permanent ban from working with children. She cried in court, claiming she never intended for it to happen and was only trying to assist someone reconnect with their child. The judge did not buy it, neither did we. She wrote us a letter. I did not read it. Daniel incinerated it. Leo's biological mother was captured in Arkansas and extradited. She pleaded guilty to custody interference and endangering a child. The fraud charges were dismissed in exchange for a mental evaluation and a no-contact order. She was condemned to 4 years. In court, she stated, "I wasn't trying to hurt him. I just miss him. I wanted to fix something I'd broken." No one applauded. My parents did not take it well. They claimed Amanda was confused and did not deserve to go to jail. My mother remarked, "He's not even yours. Amanda is your sister." She made an error. I answered, "So did you." Then I blocked their number and didn't look back. 1 year later, Leo laughed. I truly laughed. Full belly head back snort at the end type of laugh. Maisie had done something absurd with ketchup on a spoon and he lost it. Daniel and I exchanged looks but did not speak. We did not need to. Leo currently attends school. He creates cartoons. He sleeps throughout the night. He sometimes calls me mom without realizing it. I do not correct him. Today, he and Maisie are in the backyard. She's bossing him around like she used to, and he's allowing it. Daniel is beside me. He's reading, but I can sense him watching as well. Everything is imperfect, but it is ours. We had lost him and then found him again, and everything in between broke something we'll never be able to entirely mend, yet not everything that breaks remains broken. Some things are reconstructed. We are currently at home. Have I gone too far? Isn't far enough? I honestly do not know. I only know that when someone puts your child in jeopardy, there is no such thing as going too far. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments.